Donald Trump slaps around Democrats during his visit to California. JD Vance destroys Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation on her own show. And Tom Homan is not messing around at the southern border. All of that and more here on The Bald Brad Show. Welcome back, Patriots, to the Bald Brad Show. And boy, oh boy, do we have a jam-packed show for y'all today. Because JD Vance, Donald Trump, the boys are back. Slapped around Democrats, slapped around the fake news media, and really getting down to business. Donald Trump has done more on a freaking golf course than Joe Biden's done in like 4 years in office. This was a wild weekend, and we're going to package it all together for you, folks. If you can support us by hitting that like and subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. I missed you all. Let's jump right in the news today. We got Trump calling out Mayor Bass during live presser. Community members back him up. We streamed this live, and basically what took place, Donald Trump flies into Los Angeles, LAX, gets a tour of what's been going on with the devastation here in my home state of California. I'm about 35 miles south of what took place here. And he gets called into this meeting right here. And Karen Bass, which you see currently, is the mayor of Los Angeles. And Donald Trump just, here's Karen, here's Trump, just slaps her around. And we stream this whole thing live, so I recommend you check our video catalog out and, well, watch the entertainment. And what you can't see is when the camera's focused on Trump and everybody else, the community members are behind the camera. And Donald Trump's going, look, I talked to these guys. They're saying it's going to take 18 months before they can even get on their lot and do anything. Over a year and a half before they can touch anything. And Trump's like, they need to be able to go in tonight. They need to be able to touch your stuff, Karen. Unacceptable. And so they have a back and forth exchange here. And, well, let's see what that looks like.
And the number one thing that we are going to do immediately, and you will see this happen, is to clear out the debris. And, you know, we're concerned right now over the weekend because of the potential rain, but we are going to move as fast as we can. But we want you to be safe. And we want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't cost a lot.
Yes, and they can.
You should let them do it because by the time you hire contractors, it's going to be 2 years.
If a family...
The people are willing to get a dumpster and do it themselves and clean it out.
And they can.
There's not that much left. It's all incinerated.
That's right.
And, you know, it's just going to take a long time if you do. You can do some of it, but a lot of these people, I know that guy right there that's talking. I know my people. You'll be on that thing tonight, throwing the stuff away, and your site it'll look perfect within 24 hours, and that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to wait around for 7 months till the city hires some demolition contract that's going to charge him $25,000 to do his lot.
Exactly.
I think you have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked, I mean, you have a very powerful emergency power, and you can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes. And if individuals want to clear out their property, they can.
Listen.
Well, yes, but you know that you will be able to go back soon.
Mr. President.
We think within a week.
That's a long time, a week. I'll be honest. To me, everyone's standing in front of their house. They want to go to work, and they're not allowed to do it.
And the most important thing is for people to be safe.
They're safe. They're safe. You know what? They're not safe. They're not safe now. They're going to be much safer. A week is actually a long time, the way I look at it. I watched hundreds of people standing in front of their lots, and they're not allowed to go in. It's all burned. It's gone. It's done. Nothing's going to happen to it. It's not going to burn anymore. There's nothing to burn. There's almost nothing to burn. And they want to go in. The people are all over the place. They're standing, and they say, why aren't you going in? We're trying to get a permit. And the permit's going to take them, everybody said 18 months. You said 18 months. You said 18 months.
Thank you, sir, for speaking on behalf of the American people. Finally, somebody walks in the state of California and slaps these Democrats around. You got to understand there's a bubble here. These people in my home state live in their own world, and have no idea how everything functions and is supposed to work properly. And that's why our state is going down the dumpster. You get a guy like President Trump with his head on straight. I know the Democrats haven't seen somebody like that in quite some time. I mean, hell, going back even before Barack Obama. Comes in and says, look, just let them on their lots. They'll clean it up themselves. Novel idea that they just want this stuff fixed. Like now. She goes, oh, well, you'll be coming back in your homes. And Trump goes, well, they don't want to come back in 18 months. No, they can come back soon. He goes, no, they can come back tonight. Oh, yeah, they'll be able to. They'll be able to come back sometime. Oh, well, maybe a week, maybe a month. Folks, when has Democrats or hell, even the government ever steered you towards the right direction? I almost said wrong direction. Well, that's always the right direction. Never. When they say a week, that's a year. Okay. They can't even build a road properly here in the state of California, let alone let you get back on your own freaking property. Unbelievable. Like we're going to trust them in the same way that we're supposed to trust FEMA here. And Trump understands how FEMA functions because if you recall, FEMA, when there was a disaster that Joe Biden Democrat Party loved to forget about, meaning those in North Carolina, well, they go, hey, don't focus or even try to help those that have Trump advertising on their homes, meaning Trump Vance signs displayed everywhere or Make America Great Again. Let's forget those homes, but make sure we go to those that have, I don't know, Harris Waltz signs or Biden Harris signs. I don't know who in their right mind would have any of those signs out on their front lawn to do with or in the first place, but they were there. And so President Donald Trump spoke out on Friday about FEMA scandal where relief workers skipped homes because of signs or flags. Trump decried the incident, which was first reported by the Daily Wire way back when. When he spoke to hurricane victims in North Carolina, Trump proposed drastic changes to FEMA and suggested that he may sign an executive order to get rid of the agency altogether. Folks, this happened a while ago. Trump, in his first few hours, was able to fix the whole thing. And what I mean by that is people were living in tents. People were living under tarps in North Carolina. And Joe Biden allowed it. Now, we shouldn't be shocked here. Joe Biden, if you recall, we're pulling back like 5 years ago. Remember when he allowed or made our own military people sleep in a parking garage in the cold? And then they were supposed to be made to feel better because Jill Biden baked them cookies. Do you guys remember that? It was a while ago, but he did it. Joe Biden was never for the American people. This guy right here, this guy is speaking on behalf of people in Los Angeles that quite frankly probably didn't even vote for him because it's the Pacific Palisades. It's like leftist progressive territory. And he's saying, look, help them clean up their home. And then he goes to North Carolina before that and says, hey, why are these people living in tents? We need to put these people in hotel rooms. Get some hotel rooms. Takes care of the American people. It's astonishing. Joe Biden kicks out Americans out of hotel rooms and replaces them with them illegal immigrants. Donald Trump kicks out the illegal immigrants and puts the American people in the hotel rooms. Novel idea, but this is what happens when you get somebody with their head on straight. You get somebody that loves America, wants America to be great again, and actually plays it out. Well, a whistleblower testified that some FEMA employees refuse to help people who display Trump signs on their property. They're called sickos, folks. They're called progressive left. They're trash, just like the politicians here in the state of California. They're trash. I think that's true, isn't it? I read that. That's not nice. That's not too nice, is it? But whoever those property people were, thank you very much, Trump said. In November, the Daily Wire broke a story that FEMA supervisor had ordered relief workers in Lake Placid to avoid homes advertising Trump. The instructions were given in person and verbally. Whistleblowers told the Daily Wire at least 20 homes were skipped due to that order. Just lovely. But no, guys, they're here. They're here to take care of you guys. The government's here to help you. Yeah. No, they're not. That's why Trump said it correctly in Los Angeles. As somebody that lives here, allow people to go on their own properties and clean up their own stuff. And Karen goes, oh, well, they need to be safe. I don't want the government to tell me when and when I'm not safe. You shouldn't even have that authority. I should have the right to go on my own property that's been turned to ash and sweep up the place. It's unbelievable. It really is. The government, but mostly Democrats, Republicans do this too, but mostly Democrats, they love to tell you what you can and can't do with your property. We're all familiar with HOAs. We're all familiar with the Democrats and their freaking red tape, their pink slips that they give you, what you can and can't build, what type of lumber you need to use. You didn't use the right nail. Oh, this is the EPA violation, this or that. I'm tired of it. I really am. And quite frankly, so are a lot of Americans. It doesn't matter. And Democrats are feeling the pressure right now, let me tell you, because they voted for all this stuff, all that climate change, and then they can't wonder why they can't build right now. Well, because maybe, I don't know, there's environmental hazards everywhere and you allowed it rather than you getting a shovel and a piece of, a dust debris picker-upper thingy and throw it in the dumpster. You want to know what should have happened? And I don't know why this hasn't. Why not just call in we called for this, folks, if you were there during the live. Why not just call in a bunch of volunteers? Call up all the churches in Southern California, tell them to round up their congregation members. We're going to pay for the dumpsters. We'll pay for your meals. We'll get everything out there. We'll ask the pizza shops in all of Southern California to bake pizzas and deliver it. I'm sure they're willing to do it. It's a tax write-off. And just get down there and help these people clean up their houses. Get the community out there. It's astonishing how these Democrats just want to love government to do everything and tell them to do everything. It's unbelievable. Well, speaking of something that's unbelievable here, folks, if you're having a good time, hit that like and subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. JD Vance blasts Margaret Brennan over claim Afghan refugees let into U.S. are vetted. JD Vance slapped Margaret Brennan so hard during her own show, her head spun in circles. Now, she's not a reporter. She's an activist. That's really what she is. She's an activist journalist. Everybody knows it. She's a fraud. She's part of the fake news. And here's JD Vance. We got a lot of clips coming up, folks, of him slapping her around and just speaking truth.
Talk to us in August. You said, I don't think we should abandon anybody who's been properly vetted and helped us. Do you stand by that?
Well, Margaret, I don't agree that all these immigrants or all these refugees have been properly vetted. In fact, we know that there are cases of people who allegedly were properly vetted and then were literally planning terrorist attacks on our country. That happened during the campaign, if you may remember. So clearly not all of these foreign nationals have been properly vetted.
But there are 30,000 people in the pipeline, Afghan refugees.
But my primary concern as the vice president, Margaret, is to look after the American people. And now that we know that we have vetting problems with a lot of these refugee programs, we absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These people are vetted.
Good.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
We'll be back in 1 minute with more of our...
That's what I'm talking about, JD. Just ringing in the elbows, just fighting her, just shadow palming her. Oh, baby. Don't you just the smug, right? Oh, well, they were vetted. Oh, well, they were. No, folks, she's a dummy. Trust me, we've covered her endlessly here on the show. She is so ass backwards, she can't tell you the difference between her mouth and her ass. I am serious on all fronts. I am as serious as a heart attack. Her head is so far up her, you know what? It is mind-blowing. Oh, they've been vetted. Yeah, no, they've been vetted. No, we've shown the documents. They have not been vetted. You may be talking about the refugees to fit a narrative that you're trying to push here, but a lot of people haven't been vetted. You want to know what they're called, Margaret? Yeah, you want to know what? No, come in, Margaret. Come in. Listen closely. Put on your ears. Come on. They're called gotaways. We don't know who the hell they are. There's a reason why there's terrorists here, Margaret. There's a reason why there's sleeper cells happening right now. But she doesn't have her head on straight, folks. And this is what it looks like when somebody doesn't have their head on straight. Somebody needs to call it out. And look, if you're somebody that can't sit there and take a guy just telling you the pure truth straight to your face and then take the show for you, but we're going to bring you the truth nonetheless, and somebody got to tell it to you. JD Vance dunks on Margaret Brennan again, but this time over basic understanding how economics works. Because when you're an activist, you disregard what the truth is, and you try to promulgate a bunch of lies, which is also known as the fake news. So here's JD Vance once again, letting her have it on how things function. But this says it all right there. What?
Oil and gas production.
Yes, Joe Biden did many terrible things to lead to an increase in prices. I agree, Margaret.
No, but all the things you experience at the grocery store are what people touch and feel. That's what you were talking about, bacon on the campaign trail.
Of course. of course.
Those things, when do consumers actually get to touch and feel a difference in their lives?
Well, Margaret, how does bacon get to the grocery store? It comes on trucks that are fueled by diesel fuel. If the diesel's way too expensive, the bacon's going to become more expensive. How do we grow the bacon? Our farmers need energy to produce it. So if we lower energy prices, we are going to see lower prices for consumers, and that is what we're trying to fight for.
And there was record.
By the way, you could read that in any high school textbook starting your freshman year. It's not a novel idea, but for her it is. For her, it is. There's a lot of things that she doesn't know, which is why Democrats put her in this position, mostly the progressive left, because she doesn't know things. She's an activist, and that's all she is. Folks, where was this type of interview for Joe Biden for the last 4 years? Where was any of this? It hasn't even been, as of today, it's been a full week. As of noon today, it will have been a full week that Donald Trump's been in office. Well, when are they going to be able to touch the eggs and see a difference in prices? When are they going to see this or that? Where was any of these questions for Joe Biden the last 4 years? There wasn't, because you have a narrative to push and you did a cover up. This same broad here did an entire cover up of Joe Biden's cognitive decline. She did an entire cover up saying that the border was secure. She didn't want to touch any information about the border. She didn't go out as a journalist and try to find the 340,000 children, all of which Tom Homan in his first week found 70,000 of the 340,000 that are missing that Joe Biden couldn't do in 4 years. She didn't do any of that. Why? Because she's an activist. She's fake news. Face the Nation is fake news, and nobody likes him, and that's why they're crumbling. And that's why JD Vance slapped them around, and it's nice to have a vice president. We couldn't get this from Mike Pence, could we, folks? But we get it from JD, where he's not going to allow this crap to happen. He's going to call out their lies. He's a lot smarter than all of them. They haven't experienced somebody that's smart because they've been dealing with Joe Biden and Barack Obama before that for the last, decade or so. So when somebody actually comes in and knows what the hell they're talking about, they don't know what to do. Well, we're talking about bacon. Yeah, you want to know who's talking about the price of hot dogs decreasing during 4th of July when in fact they didn't decrease? How about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? But she doesn't want to talk about that. Something I want to talk about here is JD Vance mocks Margaret Brennan over her argument for what should set U.S. immigration policy. So here he is once again. Margaret, JD, just coming in hot, letting her have it as somebody needs to, because look, I'm telling you, she lives in her own echo chamber. That says everything right there. She's eating a Sour Patch.
Well, this is a country founded by immigrants.
Well, this is a country founded by...
This is a unique country.
This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers. But just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world.
Well, this is a country...
Look at her face here. Duh. Somebody screen grabbed all her facial reactions and posted it. And it just showed you really that she isn't about getting the truth out here. So this is all her facial reactions. Does this look like somebody that is not biased? Does this look like somebody that has her head on straight? Folks, a lot of us have dated women like this. This is a progressive woman that's manipulative. She's a liar. She's condescending. She's interruptive. She's not a nice lady whatsoever. And JD handled it very, very nice. And by the way, it has nothing to do with she's a woman. Ladies, I know a lot of you dated guys like this. This is bonkers. Didn't want to talk about the increased gas prices when Joe Biden was in office. Didn't care about the price of everything going up when Joe Biden was in office. Didn't want to deal with anything. But now when Donald Trump's in office for a week, hey, why are prices not down? I'm not exaggerating when I say that Donald Trump had only been president for 2 hours and Democrats are already posting online asking why prices haven't dropped. These are how dumb these people are, folks. It is astonishing. And they walk amongst us. They breathe the same air as us. And then when things start going south because of their policies that they voted in, all of a sudden it's our fault. And then when we try to fix it, it's still our fault that it's not fixed fast enough. I mean, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? And then when you try to explain them how basic economics works of like, yeah, if you bring down fuel prices, that's at least going to stagnate the price of eggs or grocery prices somewhat. If you think that grocery prices are going to come down tremendously, they're not. Joe Biden already effed this over forever. But that inflation doesn't really change, folks. So what we're looking at is just to stagnate the prices and try to get by with what we got here. That's the goal. If you could bring them down slightly, that's great. But you're going to have to drill, baby, drill. And if you recall, Joe Biden sabotaged the American people on his way out by claiming a lot of land that can't be used for drilling, like the entire ocean. But Joe Biden's an idiot. And, well, we all know that, folks. Greatly appreciate all the patrons in the chat right now. We are live, folks. I hope you enjoyed the new intro. And if you did, let me know in the chat if you like the new intro, where we display a little bit of what our main headlines are of the day, and then we jump into the show itself. Before we move forward here, let's go ahead and give a shout out to one of our sponsors, and that is Rumble. Rumble takes good care of us, folks. Rumble Premium is a great product. This sponsor is, in fact, from Rumble, and one that is incredibly important to the company's survival. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built a platform for small creators such as me, Bald Brad. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. The mainstream media knows nothing about that. No one thought platforms would censor political conversations or censor even opinions on COVID, but they did it. They actually admitted to it, and they fell to the pressure from the Biden-Harris administration, and Rumble did not. They held the line, folks. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They're attacked by corporate media. They're attacked from freaking governments like France, and they're attacked by brand advertisers who refuse to work with them, which is a major problem when you're trying to grow a company. Corporate America is fighting to remove free speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it, folks. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you, but if you really believe in this fight and you believe in the means and have the cause, or have the cause and believe in the means, holy Lord, it's morning. One major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble's offering $10 off, folks. $10 off with promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, well, just watching us over there would be greatly appreciated, folks. Support them because, hell, you're looking at what YouTube's doing to our channel. You're looking at what Facebook did to a lot of patriots. They're censoring us. They're not allowing us to grow because they don't want truth out there. And I think if you wanted a really good case to be made, look at Margaret Brennan over at Face the Nation. They want to push their narrative, but they're not going to be allowed to do that now because, hell, we are the news, baby, not legacy media. Q1969, thank you so much for the $10. Love the new intro. Hell yeah, thank you so much for your feedback. And thank you for the $10 and always supporting us here on the Bald Brad Show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. If you're new here, welcome. We got a lot of patriots in the chat, folks. We do this Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we have a freaking good time, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Well, we got U.S. Marines, folks. This is what I've been asking for. U.S. Marines arrive at southern border, baby. United States Marine Corps arrived at the U.S. southern border on Friday to secure the border and stop the flow of illegal aliens entering the country. What a novel idea. I have been asking for this for 4 years on a weekly basis, and I'm finally getting it. Everything that I asked for, I mean, I must have been a good boy, folks, because it's like Santa is raining down the gifts and Donald Trump is Santa because he has given me everything I asked for. It's unbelievable. So you got the Northern Command said in a statement that Trump administration deployed approximately 1,500 active duty personnel from the U.S. Army and U.S. Marine Corps to augment those who are already there assisting federal border officials. We got a little bit of footage here for all of you. Them doing the work already. The border wall is being built present time. That was video shown last night on X. Make sure you follow me over at Twitter, folks. I post a lot of stuff over there. And I'm loving how they're bringing in the Chinooks. Those are Chinooks, right? Or at least they, oh no, Chinook has the front and back. I don't know which ones those are. It looks good though. Hey, just so you know, this is ours that's landing in our territory. This isn't what Biden left in Afghanistan. No, that's ours. Yeah. Novel idea, once again, allowing our own military to use our own equipment, not giving it to our enemies. Amazing. Look at them. Thank you so much for fighting. God, it looks good. I mean, does it get any cooler having Border Patrol mixed with our United States military, protecting Americans like us? Thank you, Mr. President, for getting the work and the job done, getting it handled there. And it's not just that, folks. They're also arresting people like you've never seen before. Oh, Tom Homan. Tom Homan is putting down the law big time. So there's this huge thing that came out Friday, Saturday-ish, where Tom Homan, the border czar, who ain't messing around, by the way, has his ICE agents going around and just wrangling up these criminals. And what's even more astonishing than that is Democrats don't want this to happen. No. I know you're sitting there going, no, come on, man. Like it's not that black and white. No. I live in California and you're seeing this in all Democrat ran areas. They don't want Tom Homan in their area. That's why they're still classified as sanctuary cities, because they want to circumvent the system and harbor these criminals, the ones that have actually committed murder and crimes, have raped women and children, and sometimes men, have beheaded people, full on basically serial killers sometimes, in their own cities. It's one of the wildest things you'll have ever seen in your lifetime. I'm not sure if you'll ever see it again, but you're seeing a lot of firsts in this country, and Tom Homan is going to be the first guy to actually clean it up because Democrats don't want to do it. Donald Trump and Tom Homan do. This week, Border Czar Tom Homan relayed a simple message to a criminal illegal immigrant who ranted against President Donald Trump and said he was not going back to Haiti while ICE Immigration and Customs Enforcement custody. Well, let's see this, and I'll show you Tom Homan here. This guy, dude. It's unbelievable. Democrats love this stuff. Here you go.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
This is an illegal immigrant, by the way. This went viral over the weekend. Illegal immigrant, just listen to what he says.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
First, Tom, when you see that video, I'm curious, what do you think?
Well, he's wrong. He's going back to Haiti. I can tell him that. And look, I've said it on this network for 4 years. Joe Biden, opened these borders on purpose. It wasn't a mismanagement. It wasn't incompetence. He knew exactly what he was doing. He made the promises while he was running for president, and he kept those promises. At least you got to give him credit for that. But yeah, they've opened this border up, and President Trump's going to secure the border, the highest level ever. You thought we had a secure border before? Watch what happens now. It'll be the tightest border in the history of this nation, and ICE officers are finally getting the handcuffs taken off them, and they're going to put them on the bad guys throughout the country.
That's what I'm talking about, Patriots. That's some good stuff from Tom Homan there, baby. Laying down the law. Yo, Biden forever. F Trump. Love Obama. Yeah, I bet you do. You're probably one of those guys. This guy right here was probably one of those guys. Let's see if I can get it up for you. Look at this. Folks, I want to be clear here, and I'm actually going to give my opinion. Normally, I don't give my opinion all that much, just kind of bringing the news and the hypocrisy of the left media. Even if this guy wasn't like a violent criminal, but was a criminal because he came here illegally, I still think he should be deported. You think this guy's an asset to the country? You think this guy's going to make America better? Really? What is he doing that's going to, you think this guy could pass a high school exit exam? You think this guy knows how to add correctly? I don't think so. This guy's doing nothing for the country. Get out of here. Go back. You came here for a reason because Haiti, well, we all know how Haiti is. And why don't you go clean up the mess over there if you think it's so great? So that's somebody siphoning, folks. Well, I just want to be clear. While you're struggling to pay your bills, you're also paying his bills. Yeah. No, you're going to pay for his lawyer fees. You're paying for his immigration fees. You're paying for his rental assistance. You're paying for his education or lack thereof. You're paying for everything for this guy on top of paying for your own family. And I think we've all had enough of it, which is why Tom Homan, JD Vance, and Mr. 45 as well as 47 is getting them the hell out of here. Who's not? Democrats. Democrats want to allow them to stay. And that's not an exaggeration. That is what's happening. And Democrats will lie straight to your face that it isn't. You also have this taking place here where illegal alien, two accomplices plead guilty in Colony Ridge murder case. Oh, is that lovely? No, these are good people. Yeah, we were told so. Well, who told you that? Democrats. Yeah, no, Democrats like Karine Jean-Pierre told Peter Doocy, well, they're not walking across the border. Well, how are they getting here, Karine? How are they getting here? Of course they're walking across the border because they're liars straight to our face. We could see it on video that they're doing it. And the crimes are being committed. Not to mention we know who some of these people are, meaning that they committed the crime back in their home country. They were either released from prison and let into the interior of the country, or they were never apprehended in their home country and came here to try to evade their home country because they knew they'd be thrown in prison and in the brig. So they come here, and what do? Because they were also an offender in their home country, they become an offender here, and they kill Americans because Democrats don't want to do their damn job. And what is that job they're supposed to do? Protect American citizens. They don't want to do it. They can't even clean up houses that have been burned down to ash. They think they can protect you? Astonishing thing. If you're just joining us, we also covered Donald Trump going to Los Angeles and Karen Bass telling you what is safe and isn't safe. The same people, get this straight, the same people that want to allow criminal aliens to rape and kill your children and your wives, in some cases your husband or an entire family, and slaughter them and wants to give them safe haven in their sanctuary cities, is going to tell you what's safe and isn't safe. Tell me that isn't mind-blowing. Am I the only one here that thinks that's crazy? Am I speaking sense here? It's bat bleep crazy is what it is. And you know what? You can have your house burned down, your entire family slaughtered by illegal aliens. And what will you still do if you're a Democrat in the state of California? You will still vote Democrat. You will still vote Democrat. If you think I'm kidding, wait till the recall happens. I think it's going to be close, but they will still vote in another Democrat. It's the same thing Chicago did, right? Lori Lightfoot with the receding hairline, the whole charade, looks like a freaking zombie. She was a progressive leftist, drove that city into the ground. And what did they do? Did they go with somebody that's more middle? Did they go with somebody that's maybe even middle right? I'm not even saying a full-fledged Republican. I'm just talking like a centrist. Nope. They put in Johnson, who's a progressive leftist as well. They just switched a black woman for a black man, and race has nothing to do with it. I'm just portraying a picture and an image. And it's the ideology that's nutso, but they don't get that. Well, an illegal alien and his two accomplices admitted that they killed a Houston woman in the Colony Ridge development, a sprawling development notorious for attracting illegal aliens through potentially fraudulent marketing and financial schemes. The three defendants pled guilty to killing Emily Patricia Rodriguez after luring her away from her workplace. The three accepted a plea deal and each will serve a 50-year sentence. Oh, goody. So we get to pay for that. Oh, lovely. Just more siphoning funds from the American people that are struggling right now. Blank has been identified as an illegal alien, while the immigration status of the other two defendants remains unknown. Well, why don't we know who they are? If they pleaded guilty, why don't we know who they are? I was told they were vetted. Yeah, no, Margaret Brennan just told us. We all saw it with our own eyes. Margaret Brennan said all these people are vetted. We know who they are. The three lured Rodriguez away from her workplace at a restaurant in Houston, saying that they would socialize before taking her. They socialized before taking her to Colonial Ridge, and well, they had their way with her. No. Oh, no, Democrats. You told me these are good people. Yeah, no, these people are going to make America great. They're all scientists, right? They're all mathematicians. Hell, they're all laborers. Yeah, no, these are the people that were told that need to scrub your toilets and pick your fruit and crop. It's insane. They aren't good people. They aren't doing those jobs. If they are, they're insane and doing those jobs. They should still get the hell out of here because they're killing people. I can't believe I'm sitting here. Patriots, you get it. You're all smart people. The progressive left, they don't get it. You ask them, hey, why don't you take in this? I guarantee you, they'll sit there and look at it and tell you in your face. They go, no, we need to allow these people to stay because they just need a better life. They're not able to have a better life in their home country. Well, because their home country doesn't give them free handouts like we do, and a lot of other things that we give them their home country doesn't do. Well, they'll say, hey, why don't they stay here? But when you say, well, will you take them in? Will you house them in your own home and allow them to babysit your children? Maybe you could pay for that instead of them, taking American jobs. You can actually just pay them a babysitting fee to take care of your children. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, he did kill a family in his home country. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Just, oh, you don't want to? But why not? Oh, it's weird. Oh, you don't want that guy to take care of your children? Then probably shouldn't be here. There's a good qualification. If somebody comes here illegally and you don't trust them enough to take care of your own children, maybe shouldn't be here. There you go. There's a question for you. There's a question. Well, you get somebody in office with their head on straight like Donald Trump. Well, he's going to restore the Mexico City policy and ends taxpayer funded for abortion. This is nice. So let's break this down. President Donald Trump took executive actions the other day, preventing the use of taxpayer dollars for abortions, both in foreign countries and within the United States. Lovely. Lovely. Finally, somebody gets stuff done. This guy's saving trillions of dollars, folks, in his first week. It's unbelievable. The first measure signed by Trump, a presidential memorandum referred to as the Mexico City policy, prevents taxpayer funds from being sent to foreign non-governmental organizations, NGOs, that perform or promote abortions. Trump also signed an executive order strengthening the Hyde Amendment, a ban on the use of federal funds for abortions. I just think it's insane that we're actually paying, all taxpayers are paying for the murder of children. It's wild to me. It's wild. Even I don't even go there. I'm fumbling through my words and sounding like Joe Biden because I can't comprehend that we're allowing this to even happen in the first place, that we're just, your taxpayer dollars aren't going to like building roads or infrastructure that's making everybody great and just the country great. No, it's going to killing children. And we're just signing checks left and right. Here you go. And just everybody do it. I mean, folks, we're paying for illegal immigrants' transitions. You can't even, it's not even possible. And we're paying for it. I further direct the Secretary of State to take all necessary actions, which would be Marco Rubio, to extend permitted by law to ensure that U.S. taxpayer dollars do not fund organizations or programs that support or participate in the management of a program of coercive abortion or involuntary sterilization, reads the memorandum. So good on Trump for getting stuff done. Tired of paying for other people's medical bills of other countries, or whether they're U.S. citizens in other countries. We shouldn't be paying for people's abortions. In the same way that if you wanted to get some cosmetic work done, that's not covered by insurance. You don't expect the government to fully pay for that either. But if it comes to murdering people, well, they're all for it. It's an odd thing. It's an odd time to be alive, folks, but that is what's happening. And Donald Trump, well, he's fixing it for us, and he's fixing a lot of things. Now, there's some big news that took place yesterday, and it was freaking awesome. Donald Trump in Colombia. I think some of you might have heard of it. This whole thing, Trump is a badass, man. This guy does not mess around, and then he trolls the people at the end of the day. So, Mr. 47, God, I love him so much, was going to send, or I should say did send illegal immigrants back to Colombia. And what happened was the plane was diverted. They wouldn't let the plane land. And I'm going to break this down for you because there's actually a sequence of things that took place, and it's freaking all phenomenal. The Trump administration is preparing to issue retaliatory measures against Colombia after its communist president announced that he would not allow the U.S. to deport illegal aliens back to the country. Why not? Why would you not take in your own citizens back? Because they're criminals. That's why. Of course you wouldn't want them back, because they're going to slaughter your own people. But it's okay to send them here. This is how nuts other countries are, folks. How nuts. And it shows you how crazy Biden was to cave on all this stuff. Colombian President Petro, who is a former Marxist terrorist, posted on X, the U.S. cannot treat Colombian migrants as criminals. But they are. Some of them raped people. Some of them murdered people. Yeah, they're going back. I deny the entry of American planes carrying Colombian migrants into U.S. into our territory. Oh, really? He claimed that the U.S. must establish a protocol for the dignified treatment of migrants before we receive them. He's telling us what we're going to do. This has been going on for far too long, folks. If you want to read a great book that talks a lot about this, I know you may not like her, but her book is phenomenal. Nikki Haley, when she was the former UN ambassador to Donald Trump, she talks all about how these countries treat us like garbage. I know it's out there in the open, but she gives you more of a behind the scenes of how things function. These countries have been pushing us around for far too long, and it's done with. And the thing is, folks, they've been able to run roughshod over us in our country because Democrats were in office for 4 years, that they're not familiar, and they kind of forgot how Donald Trump rolls. Well, Trump takes action here. Trump sits there and goes, I don't think so. Mind you, I want to point out, and I got a lot of flack from patriots on this, folks. Donald Trump, what I'm about to tell you, did this all on a golf course. Okay? I got flack from patriots, from conservative Republicans, when I said that Donald Trump, I don't mind him going golfing because he could still get business done. And I can even correlate to exactly what I talked about, saying there's a lot of business people that will have cigars and drinks and make a lot of business negotiations and actually get contracts signed and dealt with on a golf course. And I said, I'm actually fine with Donald Trump working negotiations while he's golfing because he can do that. Things get done there. And it was correlating to Joe Biden on how he couldn't get anything done. And I got heat for saying that, going, oh, really? You can't sit there and negotiate on a golf course. You can't get hostages released and all those other things. Well, let's look at this then. President Donald Trump announced on Sunday retaliatory measures against Colombia after the Colombian president, who is a former Marxist, rejected deportation flights. So Trump comes out, he's hitting the freaking 9-iron, and he goes, all right, we're going to do this. Write this down. Somebody get this on my Twitter page. Emergency 25% tariffs on all goods coming into the United States in 1 week. And then he goes, those 25% tariffs are going to be raised to 50, brutal. And then I guarantee you, he's talking to his buddies with a cigar in his mouth, even though he doesn't probably smoke. He's going, hey, Rich, you're going to love this. I'm going to cripple him. You want 30? No, I'm going to 50. 50, I know. Look at Rich just spit out his drink. A travel ban and immediate visa revocations on the Colombian government officials and all allies and supporters. Trump, you savage. I love it. Look at this. Visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government. Enhanced customs and border protection inspections of all Colombian nationals and cargo on national security grounds, baby. IEEPA, Treasury, banks and financial sanctions to be fully imposed. And that was just the beginning. That was Trump just with the 9-iron off the freaking 5th hole going, hey, wait till I get to the 18th and see what I can come up with. Phenomenal stuff, Mr. President. Thank you so much for taking care of the American citizens. Folks, just to give you an idea, there's over 200,000 illegal aliens from Colombia that are living in the country right now. Did I say 200,000? Yes, I did. Over 200,000 illegal aliens siphoning from this country. So what happened was, I'm not even exaggerating, like 30 minutes later, this happens. Well, he reverses course following U.S. retaliation. Trump getting it done on a golf course. I'm going to keep reiterating that for the next 4 years. I don't want to hear shit from Democrats saying Trump shouldn't be golfing. He's getting stuff done while the man is having leisure. I'm cool with it. Case in point, what's going on here? I don't want to hear a thing of, Trump's on golfing. Trump's golfing. Trump's getting stuff done while golfing. Case in point right here. Now we all have ammo to prove our case that the man can do it. So, so freaking good. So the Marxist president comes out. And here we go. The government of Colombia, under the direction of President Gustavo Petro, has arranged a presidential plane. I'm wondering if Trump had something to do with that, like a quick phone call. Okay, you can send our people here on your military jets. No, I want something more, Gustavo. I want something more. What can you give me? Bow down to daddy. What can you give me? Kiss the ring. Right? He's on the phone with them. And I guarantee you, Trump's probably on the phone and he's kind of getting the warm-up swing going, you know what I mean, on the 9th? Because it's only 30 minutes later, right? On the 9th, he's sitting there getting the swing in, just warming up a bit. Hold on 1 second, Gustavo. That's about 145 yards, Rich. Yeah, no, get rid of the 7, use the 7 iron. Good, yes, Rich, you're good. Sorry, yeah, what are you going to give us, bitch? I want your presidential plane. Yes. Yeah, I said your presidential plane. I want that here within the hour. And we're going to use that. Oh, they're going to make it dirty? I don't care. Oh, sir. I'm so thankful for Trump, man. He's the fucking best. Sorry for cussing, but he is. So he's going to use his own plane to get the people out of here. This measure responds to the government's commitment to guarantee descendant decent conditions. Sure. Yeah, sure. In no way have Colombians as patriots and subjects of rights have not been and will be banished from Colombian territory. Well, I mean, you weren't going to allow them to come back in the first place, but all of a sudden you're cool with it and then you're going to offer up your own plane. Sure, dude. So Marco Rubio comes out in a statement here on X. And by the way, can we give a shout out to Rubio? Rubio's been doing great. I know he's only been in there for a couple days, but the guy's doing awesome. President Trump has made it clear that under his administration, America will no longer be lied to nor taken advantage of. It is the responsibility of each nation to take back their citizens who are illegally present in the United States in a serious and expeditious manner. Colombian president had authorized flights and provided all needed authorizations and then canceled his authorization when the planes were in the air. As demonstrated by today's actions, we are unwavering in our commitment to end illegal immigration and bolster America's border security. Folks, it's only been a week. I know we know this. It's just a nice reminder that this is all going on. And Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, JD Vance is leading the brigade. And if countries don't want to bow down, baby, we will make them bow down. Case in point, what you just saw with Colombia. It's all good, is it not? It's all good. Hey, I don't know how you guys felt about that Trump impression and him working it, but let me know how you felt about that little bit of a bit. Always love your feedback and your input, Patriots. You know I care about you, and I always appreciate you caring about me. And something we should also care about is our sponsors. And this one we plugged a lot, folks, because we're a morning show. Well, do you enjoy free speech that Rumble is protecting and fighting for? Our show on Rumble is only possible thanks to all of you fine Patriots. We got to be clear on this. All you fine Patriots. And, well, you know, you're supporting Rumble's platform by purchasing Rumble's products as well. You guys been buying this up like hotcakes. Most of you drink coffee every day. We're a morning show. You know what I'm drinking in this mug. You can see the coffee ring around it. Well, that's why you have to try Rumble 1775 coffee. You guys are buying the medium roast, from what I'm told, up like hotcakes. It's actually some of the best coffee, and it's the same price as the coffee you buy now, but it's way better. So you might as well get this because they're supporting free speech and patriotism, baby. Rumble 1775 coffee is free from chemicals, yet rich in flavor. This is because they source the beans from high altitudes in Bolivia. hand-picked and roasted weekly in their facility in Miami. And then what they do is they deliver it fresh to your doorstep. And as believers of freedom, buying Rumble helps fight back against woke corporations like Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. I just call it Dunkin'. Join the coffee revolution and brew rebellion with Rumble 1775 Coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com, use promo code STUDIO, and get a free month supply of their cognitive boosting supplement Limitless when you buy 2 bags of their coffee. Think about that, folks. It's a crazy deal, and the supplement is worth more than the 2 bags of coffee alone. Go to 1775coffee.com, use promo code STUDIO, and get that deal today. It's an amazing coffee, folks. And we're a morning show, so it'd be nice to have a brew with all of you. Now, I'm sitting here in my closet doing this show, drinking a cup of coffee. It'd be nice to know the Patriots are back there drinking the same brew and cup of coffee I am, baby. All righty, we're not done yet, folks. If you're having a good time, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're new here to the show, well, what are you doing? Hit that follow or subscribe button. We do this weekdays, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday, baby. A lot of Patriots in the chat. I see all of you. I see all of you over there. We are live. Yes, we are. I see his servant. I see Danielle. I see Angel. I see Brock. I see Lulu. I see Trump won 2025. I love that. I see HK. Folks, I see Jeff in there, right? I see Pat. I see Jennifer. Hans. Joe from Wyoming. Or Joe, I think it's J-O. Dave, I see everybody, okay? If I missed you, I apologize, but there's a lot of people in the chat. There's like hundreds of you. All righty. Well, Tom Cotton defends Tulsi Gabbard. No one should question her patriotism or integrity. This is a big week for us, folks. It's a huge week. You have Tulsi Gabbard up this week, RFK Jr., and the big one that I get goosebumps talking about it. My whole body's filled with goosebumps right now. I'm not joking. Kash Patel, FBI director, baby. That's the one. I like Tulsi. I like RFK, but the one that I'm really, really excited about is Kash Patel. I am holding my breath with it because he's made a lot of promises and I've been let down a lot. So I'm hoping he follows through with it. But we got Tom Cotton here defending Tulsi Gabbard while he's being interviewed on Fox News Sunday. So I got that clip here for you. Might as well play it. Let's roll it, baby.
That Lucas had about the firing of these inspectors general. I've heard from some of your GOP colleagues who are concerned about this, saying it didn't give the proper notification, even if ultimately it would be. The notice wasn't there, and is President Trump signaling he's just going to, observe which laws he wants to and not others?
Well, Shannon, time and time again, the Supreme Court has said that Congress can't impose restrictions on the president's power to remove officers. In President Trump's first term, he removed the director of the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, despite limitations on the president's constitutional power to remove officers. That was litigated at the Supreme Court, and the president won. So ultimately, these inspectors general serve at the pleasure of the president. He wants new people in there. He wants people who focused on getting out waste and fraud and abuse and reforming these agencies. He has a right to get in there who he wants.
Do you think he will? That's the next question, because there have been times when those inspector general slots have been left open by various presidents. Are you confident, because they're your eyes and ears as lawmakers, that they will be filled?
I believe so, and he says he wants to fill those offices. Maybe he won't fill them immediately because there's an entire administration to staff and he may have other priorities. But I think the president's inherent power to remove officers will be upheld if it's challenged in court, as it has been time and again for Democratic and Republican presidents alike.
I want to ask you about...
It's nice when you get just clear answers, is it not? I'm still not used to it. I'm really not. But Tulsi Gabbard is being defended for her patriotism, her integrity. And a lot of Democrats are upset that she finally saw the light in the Democratic Party. She left them. And they're pissed about it. So because they can't govern correctly, she needs to switch over to the Republican Party because they do know how to govern correctly and get stuff done. And she saw the light. She was red-pilled, baby. And now she's with us. Somebody else that was also slightly red-pilled was RFK Jr. He's with us as well. And I got no problems with Democrats coming over to the dark side, baby. That is a joke. We are the light side. We are the Jedi. But as long as they vote our way and don't vote their own stupid policies back in, then I'm cool with it. Well, we also have big news that took place in Colorado. There was a raid that happened. Shout out to Tom Homan and everybody over at ICE doing the work and protecting the American people over there in Colorado. Federal agents arrested dozens of gang members, basically violent gang members, in an overnight raid in Aurora, Colorado. I want to point out, one of the people that said this wasn't happening was the legacy media, mainstream media. It was either Kristen Welker or it was Margaret Brennan. Doesn't matter. It was the fake news media that told us, no, there's not gang members over there. They're not taking over apartment buildings or anything like that, because they're liars. DEA busted close to 50 members or associates of the notorious Venezuelan gang at a makeshift nightclub in Aurora, a well-documented hub of their gang activity, according to DEA's Rocky Mountain Division. I know I'm repeating myself, but folks, you got to understand, Democrats love this stuff. How do we know that? Well, their actions, that's how we know it, because they would have told them on day one, they're right here, like waving freaking the batons like they're bringing in a plane, right? You want ICE to land like right on that street, just come on in, and then you're pointing there, over there. So here's the DA Rocky Mountain clip. They're getting arrested. Look at them. Shackled and everything. No, these are good people. Yep. No, Democrats said we need these people. I'm going to give you the exact quote. And people thought I was joking when I said this. Democrats are saying we can't deport these people because they're supposed to clean our toilets and pick our vegetables. It's an insane statement. I'm not saying that. That's what they said. That's what they think these people are doing. No, they're not. No, they're killing our children. They're bringing in a massive amount of fentanyl and drugs. And that's why they're ultimately getting ex-nayed and getting the hell out of here. I know Democrats don't like that, but that is what's taking place. So here's nice bus loads of people. It's nice to see a bus that's taking these people out of here rather than bringing them in. It's a really nice thing to see. I mean, Brad, what do you mean bringing them in? You see this bus right here? They were having these coming in by the hundreds during COVID. We covered it when we kind of launched here back in February. It's almost been 4 years since we've had this show. They would bus these people in to areas around Texas, like these small towns, in the hundreds to thousands, and we covered the reporting on it where the locality was required to pay for the COVID tests of all the illegal immigrants on the buses, and the localities didn't have the budget because the tests were so expensive back then that they had to declare themselves a local emergency and were begging Biden to pay for the test because they didn't know where the money was going to come from. And it's nice to see bus taking people out, planes flying people out rather than bringing them in. So good on Tom Homan for doing the Lord's work. And well, speaking of the man, we got Toman back here. Tom Homan. Can we call him Toman? Is that okay? I don't know. I kind of slipped up there, but it sounded good. It sounded really good. Toman. It's like a Norse god. He's not a god. Okay, there's people that twist your words. How could you say he's a god? Oh, there's only Jesus, a god. Folks, calm down. Well, he throws down on deporting illegal aliens. I don't put a price on that. You can't put a price because you're putting a price on people's lives, and we shouldn't be doing that. You're there to serve the American people and protect them. So here's Toman, baby.
Appointments Donald Trump made after winning the election in November was tapping one man to be what he calls his border czar. Tom Homan is a former Border Patrol agent and acting director of ICE with decades of experience in Republican and Democratic administrations. I sat down with him this week and began our conversation by asking him about the role of the U.S. military.
We got military on the border, not only helping us with departure flights on military planes, but they're helping to build infrastructure. They're putting up Constantino wire. They're down there to create a secure border and
hell yeah,
and lock that border down. And DOD's helped administrations before, but not at this level. So it's a force multiplier, and it's sending a strong signal to the world. Our border's closed.
So is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes. But you're going to see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture. Right now it's concentrating public safety threats, national security threats. That's a smaller population. So we're going to do this on priority base, as President Trump's promised, but as that aperture opens, there'll be more arrests nationwide.
When you talk about the aperture opening, the estimates of perhaps those who have been convicted or arrested in the past, 700,000 to over 1 million. So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table, because it's not okay to violate laws of this country. You got to remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8, United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country illegally who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge, should leave.
While you are emphasizing that you go after national security threats, you have said no one's off the table. If you're in the country illegally, you better be looking over your shoulder. You should be afraid.
Yes. Now that goes on for about 10 minutes. And look, Tom's right here. I don't know why she's asking him that question. Okay, well, after you're done with the criminals, like, well, Tom, what are you going to do next? Like, what do you think the aperture means? Read between. Why are these people so stupid? Why is the media so stupid? And how the hell do they get paid millions of dollars to do that? I don't get it. They get paid millions of dollars to be a bunch of dum-dums. Does that mean you're going to go after everybody else that's breaking the law that's here illegally? Yes. Yes. You know what they're finding right now is that emergency rooms in certain areas are completely empty. People's doctor's appointments they're actually able to get appointments. I'm not even kidding. Americans are finally able to get doctor appointments because the illegal immigrants are too scared to show up to siphon from the funds because they're afraid that they're going to be reported to ICE. That you should look around. It's unbelievable. People are posting videos. They're like, I haven't been able to get an appointment for like a year. And they're looking around the doctor's office that they're saying is like they're always packed, like completely full. There's not a single person in the waiting room. They are the only person. You're seeing a massive difference here, folks. There's a massive impact happening, and it's all good. It is all good. Thank you to Donald Trump. Thank you to Tom Homan. Thank you to everybody that's in the government right now that has their head on straight. Now, the idiots that are there that need to be fired, well, you can get the hell out because you suck. Somebody that's been doing a good job already, it's only been the first week, is Marco Rubio here. And Rubio gets tough with Taliban terrorist leaders after learning they may be holding more hostages. Yes, they're holding, well, last time I checked, this was about a month ago, they have 3 hostages, and Biden had been lying to everybody. I know this because Sarah Adams, codenamed Superbad, a CIA terrorist targeter, had come out and said, we know for a fact they have 3 of them. Biden told the family of one of the hostages to not say anything. This person has been captive for a long time, and we're giving them $87 million a week minimum. And we're paying for the Taliban's administration services. All of us are. So Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Saturday evening that the Trump administration has learned that the Taliban is holding more American citizens hostages. Taliban. Again, all of us are paying them like $400 million a month plus basically $500 million. I'm trying to keep it together. Please understand that. I'm trying to hold it in, but it drives me up a wall. And I know it frustrates the hell out of everybody else, and it's getting fixed. Just hearing the Taliban is holding more American hostages than has been reported. If this is true, we will have to immediately place a very big bounty on their heads, on their leaders, maybe even bigger than the one we had on bin Laden. Money well spent. Cut off the funding, and the $87 million that you were going to spend every week on these scumbags, let's go ahead and put a bounty on them. That sounds good to me. The news comes after American hostage Ryan Corbett's family announced on Tuesday that he was freed by the Taliban, ending his 894-day captivity. Huh. Well, there's more there, folks. There's a lot more there. And Joe Biden was funding it. Joe Biden was funding the Iranians. Joe Biden was funding the Taliban. Joe Biden was funding the Houthis. If you recall, Joe Biden took the Houthis off the terrorist watch list. And Donald Trump, in his first day back in office, designated the Houthis as a terrorist organization because that's what they are. Why would they not be? They're going after not just our allies, but also our military units in Iraq. And they're going after merchant vessels and sinking to the bottom of the sea. That doesn't sound very friendly to me. It sounds like a terrorist, in my opinion. And how do we know it happened? Because we showed the video footage. Not to mention they're also bringing warheads and stuff into Gaza and doing a whole bunch of stuff. But, it's nice to see a little bit of a difference here between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And it is night and day. And Democrats don't know how to handle it because, they've been dealing with Joe for 4 years and covering for the guy's mental decline. So it's good to see him out. And, thank you, Tom Homan, for arresting people and getting them the hell out of here so that our children are safer. And so are our wives. And quite frankly, so are people's wives' husbands. It's nice just to have a little bit of, I'm sleeping better at night. I don't know if you guys are too. I might as well just say that. I'm sleeping better. I really am. Knowing that Donald Trump is there, getting the work done. There was a clip. Let me see if I can pull it for you guys. I know I'm running a little bit late here. I want to show you this clip. And give me a second because I sent it to myself the other day. And it says everything you need to know about the contrast between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. So that's not it. Give me 1 second. I got to find it, folks. Forgive me. But here it is. It's right here. It's making me look. Here we go. Full screen.
Have made, given the fact that I've covered the Biden administration throughout the week, throughout the weekends, generally speaking, there is a Marine standing outside the Oval Office whenever the president is in there working. The last 2 days here, today and yesterday, myself being at the White House, that Marine is constantly outside the Oval Office, signaling that the president is in there working for the American people. The Marine was never out there during the Biden administration. It was a very rare occurrence. If you did, the Marine was out there. It was very rare if it was, but by comparison, the Marine has always been out here the last 2 days. And when a lid was called yesterday, the lid was called around 7, 8 o'clock yesterday, the Marine remained out there after the lid was called, signaling that Donald Trump was working late into the night for the American people. Meanwhile, by comparison, lids during the Biden administration were routinely called at 11 a.m.
I have to say, when the command...
What else is there to say? Big difference. The guy's saying, yeah, the Marine that sits outside Donald Trump's door is like always there. They put a lid on any news that's coming out at 6 o'clock. He's like, 6 o'clock was done. The guy was still in the Oval Office. I'm going to work and coming back home, going to work, and the guy's still working. You never saw that in Joe Biden. It says everything you need to know right there with people inside the White House saying, look, the Marines were not out there of the Oval Office when Joe Biden was in office, like hardly ever. Because the guy wasn't working. He was working at best 4 hours a day, which is why the country ran in the ground, which is why other countries are taking advantage of us, and it stops today. Actually, it stopped a week ago when Donald Trump was elected. It stopped on January 20th at 12:01. That's when it stopped. And it's good to see things turn around really quickly, folks. I hope you enjoyed the Bald Brad Show. We do this every single morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got a lot of patriots in the chat, a lot of regulars. I would love for you to join them in the chat. Follow us over at Rumble. Follow us over at Twitter and YouTube. We also have a book called Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. A lot of you are giving it 5-star reviews. Thank you so much for everybody that bought it over at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. It is it's a good book. I wrote it because it's a book that I couldn't find and that I would want to read. And so I was like, screw it. I'm going to write the damn thing myself. And thank you to everybody that's been buying that up. We also have a website, baldbrad.com. We got a lot of merchandise. We got a lot of stuff, folks. Thank you to everybody that's supporting the show. And thank you for all your kindness. I will see you tomorrow, same time. With you guarantee more news coming out here on the Bald Brad Show. Take care, Patriots.